You're listening to Podcast PXN, a video game podcast,
delivering player experience news.
Let's go! What is up, guys, and welcome to Podcast PXN, episode 294. I am one of your hosts, Daniel Prindle, aka Dan is DTM on Twitter, and yes, I am joined over Discord by the Nintendo aficionado and hardcore casual himself, Roshan Warner at Roro.
Hello. Glad to be back.
Absolutely. Glad to have you back, Ro.
So good to have you back.
And your name is definitely Ro, not Christian. I had to fix that real quick on the video broadcast. Whoops. But
Oopsie.
that other voice is resident Embark Glazer and my fellow Spartan Gage Dempster at Gilbo Biggins, ?
Ready to glaze, sir. And yes, we're going to get it back. We're going to figure it out.
You're going to get it back.
We're going to get it back. Dude.
Don't give Gage a password
Ring.
for anything. He'll lose it. Right, Gage?
I do love losing passwords.
The host of Large Popcorn and video producer at The Gamer, Christian Macias at ISO Christian, will join us later in the show. But thank you to everyone watching us live and participating in the chat. Just as a reminder, we are live each and every Wednesday at 8 p.m. Eastern Time on youtube.com/@podcastpxn and twitch.tv/podcastpxn as well. Guys, this is the moment we've been waiting for all year long. The topic of the show this week is our 2025 Summer Game Fest predictions. We've got some summer game events coming up, including Geoff Keighley's show, as well as Day of the Devs and many more exciting shows, and the Xbox showcase that takes place next Sunday as well. So, with all that being said, let's jump into the topic of the show right now. Geoff did announce on Twitter today 60 partners announced for Summer Game Fest for his event. Very exciting. A lot of studios up there. Gage mentioned that one of them is Embark. So I imagine we'll see some more ARC Raiders. We've got Xbox, PlayStation, Square Enix, Steam. The big boys are all here.
Exciting. I can't wait to get my hopes up to an unreasonable level and then be inevitably let down when it's a perfectly fine showcase.
Wow.
We're looking at a B-C showcase for sure, but our hype levels are at an A+.
Yes, sir.
Oh.
Yes, sir.
Always.
Yeah. All right. So let's move into the predictions now, and we're gonna do something. We're gonna do round robin as we normally do. So, just for clarity for people keeping track from home, we're gonna have 5 predictions. They can come from any of the showcases that are coming for Summer Game Fest, including Geoff's show, as I said, Day of the Devs. There's a bunch of other shows as well, and the Xbox event as well. Now, if you predict something, it just has to show up at one of those events. We're not going to try to figure out if, Microsoft's going to show off X, Y, and Z at Geoff's show or their show. We don't care about that. Just tell us your prediction, and if it shows up at one of them, you get the points. Easy enough.
Awesome.
Okay. All right. I will jump off and start with the first prediction here. And my first prediction is that we will get the next Resident Evil game revealed coming early 2026.
That's a good one.
Capcom.
That's a good one.
They're there. Coming 2026, early 2026.
And I believe there were rumors a little while ago, or they were teasing it. People thought they were teasing it in some sort of poster. I thought something, but yeah, I guess it could happen. The next one, yeah.
I'm hopeful. That would be nice.
I guess the clues are there. Maybe it'll be there.
Hunt the truth like Randy did last week, right?
Oh god.
Right, guys. All right. Ro, what's your first prediction looking like?
My first prediction is that the Persona 4 remake will get a tease at Summer Games Fest. I was going to be more specific, but you told us that we didn't have to be, so I'm just going to say at Summer Games Fest. But yeah, Persona 4 remake tease. Today, one of the voice actors kind of confirmed that it exists, and most people believed that it existed before that tease. So him saying what he said today almost confirmed that its existence, but it still might be a ways out, but it may not be. It may not be. So at least I know it's coming. Just where is it going to be shown off? I think is the question. But yeah, maybe it gets early tease soon. They've been remaking a lot of them. They just did 3, so 4 is on the way.
Hell yeah. Are you playing that if it comes out?
Yes, Persona 4 is actually my favorite Persona game. So I would love to see a remake for sure.
Hell yeah. Yeah. All right, Gage, what's your first prediction looking like? And I want to disclaim, we can't say Hideo Kojima is going to be there. We already know he's going to be there, Gage.
We do know he's going to be there, but what if my prediction was Hideo Kojima shows up and unveils another 2 unannounced games?
You know what?
It's fair. Not my prediction, but you know what? I feel like it's within the realm of. By the way, I also have 3 more things coming out on top of.
I can see it.
No, my first prediction. We're gonna try and manifest some positive things. Also, I apologize. All my predictions this year are pretty basic. It's just trailer and release date. But we're gonna start it off with IO Interactive officially unveils whatever Project 007 is.
Oh yeah.
With a release window, not a date.
Oh wow.
I'm gonna say the release window will be fall 2026.
Wow. Okay.
That's a good one.
That is good. I'd love to see what they're cooking up over there. Some James Bond from the Hitman devs. Very exciting. All right. I'm gonna go ahead and manifest this one for all of you fans of this game series out there, and that is Hollow Knight Silk Song gets a stealth release after the Xbox event.
Whoa. Wow.
There you have it.
That'll be pretty hype.
This game's coming 12 months from now, within the next 12 months. Here we are 3 years later.
God. That'd be crazy if they do that. Finally, it's out. I know it's real. I know they're making it, but it still seems like it's never coming in my mind. Like they're just going to be working on it forever, but they have to release it eventually.
It's true. It's true.
Hopefully Shadow Drop, that would be cool.
A lot of people would be excited. And I feel like that's like the perfect game to do that kind of thing, because it's not like a super mainstream like game. Like anyone who's hardcore enough to play Hollow Knight Silk Song probably is watching Summer Game Fest, I'd say, or you know.
Yeah.
All right, Ro, what's your second prediction?
My next one is also kind of a tame one. Well, not compared to yours. Yours was hype. Mine is Dying Light: The Beast release date probably at Xbox, but I know they announced it either last year or this year. I don't remember when, but they did say summer 2025, and they don't have a date on it yet. I don't believe.
Nope, they do not.
Just the announcement trailer. So hopefully we'll get a release date trailer, and I'm still thinking it's summer 2025, so it might be soon after not soon after the show, but like in the coming months. It's a build up hype, so it's coming up pretty soon.
Hell yeah. We never even finished Dying Light 2.
We didn't.
We were doing a co-op thing, and then someone who shall not be named, Sheldon,
You remember what happened?
got a little upset that we progressed too much. Sorry, Sheldon.
Listen, we were having fun. Me, you, and Glenn were sitting there crouched down, just duplicating items like little gremlins.
Yeah.
Sometimes that's part of gaming. Sometimes that's fun.
That's the last thing I remember doing, too, is duplicating items. I don't remember actually playing the game after that.
That was a very controversial thing that we did, and
that's true.
It was a snowball effect.
That's true. All right. Gage, what's your number 2 prediction?
Here we go.
Oh, here we go.
We're manifesting. Say it with me, chat. State of Decay 3 will
oh my god,
get another trailer, and it will have a release date of early 2026.
No chance.
Early 2026.
I will literally put
We're gonna
myself
get it out
in a
there.
grave if that happens.
We're gonna get it out there before GTA 6, and it's gonna be finished, and it's gonna be polished, and it's gonna have good animations, and everything will be good.
State of Decay 3 trailer coming early 2026. Man, Gage. I hope you get that for your sake, but
I don't know how much longer I can keep doing this, man. I need this game to come out.
All right. My third prediction, kind of on the back of your second one, is another Xbox prediction. And that is Gears of War E-Day gets a first look gameplay trailer coming fall 2026.
Okay.
Hell yeah. I'm excited for that game.
I think that lines up nicely.
Yes, it
Let's
does.
see it.
All right. Ro, what's your third one?
My third one is similar to Gage's, where I keep predicting it, and hopefully one day it'll happen. Playdead's game gets a little super tiny cheeser at Summer Games Fest. No date, no nothing. Just like, oh, we're working on it. It's coming. Because they have it on their page, they have it on their website.
True.
But still nothing.
Been so long too. 2014, is that right?
Since their last game?
Inside?
Since Inside? Wow. Yeah.
Their newest. That's a great prediction. First of all,
2016. Sorry.
Oh,
2016.
Okay.
Their newer game. It's supposed to be like a It's not a side scroller, right? It's supposed to be like a full 3D open.
Yeah, like sci-fi. Yeah. So it is different from what they're usually doing, but still, it's been so long.
I hope that even though it's 3D, and let's say it's like third person over the shoulder or whatever it is, I actually think that there's so much potential for that studio if they incorporate like the soft physics of their games and like the way that you interact with the environment into a 3D space. Like it doesn't even have to be a huge like Skyrim like experience. If it's just like a small little world that you can like really immerse yourself in and like interact with the environment. Now pull this cord down here to do that. There's so much potential with this studio. I totally forgot that this was coming, and I hope you're right.
Me too. Me too. The one image that they have on their website of the game is like, it looks like Inside, like how it's like obviously the black and white, but it's like super zoomed out, and it's just like a dude, and it looks like you would side scroll here, but it would be interesting to see if they keep that perspective like in a 3D. I don't even know how you would do that, but yeah, it could be cool.
Or maybe like playing with like depth of frame, like not necessarily
like he's
3D.
moving.
Yeah.
Yeah, like he's moving forward in space, but he's still always that small or something.
Yeah.
I don't know how to explain it, but yeah, that'd be cool.
Very interesting. All right, Gage, what's your number 3?
My number 3 is going to be that a new Halo project is officially announced with no release window and no time whatsoever. But we get a name and an acknowledgement that it's happening.
Interesting. Okay.
Wonder what it would be though. Like, would it be?
Exactly. That's the question. What is it gonna be? So when
That's
you say
why I don't want to put myself in a corner because
Okay.
it might be a Halo CE remake. It
Yeah.
might be a Halo reboot of the franchise. It might
I
be.
hope not. Please don't.
I know you
merch.
hope not, but that's what I'm saying is that I feel like they could go either way. They could do anything, but there will be a new mainline Halo project that is officially unveiled with a title, not just a demo reel or a engine project name, a real name for the whatever the title is.
Okay. I could piggyback off of that, but I'm saving that for last. So I will say Battlefield 6 gets a campaign trailer, and it is coming this October.
This October.
This October.
Wow.
Campaign trailer. They're back to the campaign again. Coming this October.
Nice.
All right. Ro, what is your number 4?
My number 4 is Kingdom Hearts 4 gets a new trailer. It's extremely cryptic. Nothing new is shown and no date, leaving fans confused but excited.
Okay. New trailer, no date.
No date.
Yeah.
Nothing.
Interesting. Where's the key? I don't know. I was trying to think of some that's from
In your heart,
Kingdom
right
Hearts.
here. That's very close to it being a quote.
Gosh. All right. Gage, what's your number 4?
What is my number 4?
Oh, you forgot it.
No, I have it written down. I'm wondering if I'm doing a last minute audible. No, I'll stick with my original number 4. Arc Raiders gets a trailer and has a release date of July 2025.
Ooh.
Wow.
And it makes bonus prediction is that it makes the hair stick up on all of our arms when we watch it and everybody gets excited.
Do you want that added in here, or you just?
Yes, correct.
You want that in here? Oh wow!
I do.
So
Dan,
if the hair doesn't
the prediction
stick
is
up.
Dan gets goosebumps while watching the trailer. That's the specific thing.
So specifically,
have to be
Dan
honest.
gets goosebumps. Wow.
And you'll have to be honest about that.
So if I show the camera and I don't have goosebumps,
No,
then
the
you don't
camera
think
can't see your goosebumps. You're just gonna have to tell us whether you have them or not.
All right. Honesty's the best policy. All right. All right. That leads into our final predictions. And my final prediction is also Halo related. However, I think it's going to be a bit tamer than what Gage is predicting. And I am predicting that Halo shows up for the first time in a long time in Xbox's main event to show off a big fall update for Halo Infinite, which also subsequently coincides with a release on PS5.
Wow. So wait, you mean like the PlayStation logo pops up as well?
I'm not going to say that the PlayStation logo shows up on the trailer, but this update will be announced for PlayStation 5 as well, is what I'm saying. Like, this will be like repositioning it as like a relaunch for the game, and it will also come to PS5. I'm not saying that the PS5 logo appears in the trailer or anything. It may or it may not.
Interesting.
Yeah, that's just me guessing though. I feel like you're onto something. I think that they're going to announce something Halo related, but maybe not also, cuz I don't know. We just got in October the engine announcement, which makes me a little bit concerned that
That
we're
is close.
still,
I keep forgetting it's that close.
we're
That
still
feels like
ways away.
ancient.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So there is rumors that came out today, and I don't know how accurate these are because they just literally came out of nowhere today, that they may show something at Halo World Championship in October this year. So essentially a year after they showed the in-engine look last year. So that's just a rumor though. Okay, Ro, what is your last prediction?
My last prediction is Katana Zero DLC will get a new trailer and release year of 2026. 2026 Katana Zero DLC has been in the works for quite some time. This year, the dev did like a teaser trailer, so it's possible that we won't see a lot for a very long time. But I'm hoping that he released a trailer because he's getting close. He's getting close.
Okay. Very exciting. Katana Zero DLC.
Yes.
All right. Gage, what is your last prediction?
I'm trying so hard to fight against my nature and not say something outlandish. But I want to say something outlandish so bad.
Do it. Bet you won't.
Do I want points or do I want...
I bet you won't. You don't have the balls to do it.
Yeah?
Yeah, you don't have the balls. I bet you don't. To make this prediction. Come on, Ro, entice him.
You don't have
Ro...
the guts. You don't have the guts.
Oh no. Do I want points or do I want... Oh god.
Dragon rights. That you have the guts.
Yeah.
Okay.
He doesn't have guts.
I want the bragging rights. We're gonna go with the safe prediction.
Oh wow, he
We're gonna go with the
doesn't
safe
have
prediction.
the guts.
I don't have the guts.
Wow.
Steam will unveil the Steam Deck 2 with a release window of 2026.
2026. Well, I'm curious, what was your other prediction going to be? Half-Life 3?
It was going to be Half-Life 3 related.
What's funny
I don't know.
What's funny is I almost feel like Half-Life 3 might be slightly more likely than the Steam Deck 2 from like rumors we've heard.
This is the thing, is that it's so hard because Valve hasn't, like, they're a team player in the industry, but at the same time for Half-Life 3 I could see them doing their own thing and just dropping a trailer, right? That was the hang up for me.
That is true.
I think Steam, but Steam is an official partner. I think they'll have a teaser for the Steam Deck 2 at the very least.
Could be. Okay, that is our predictions for this year. For Summer Game Fest. It's going to be an exciting time. Christian does not have predictions because he may or may not have information on that. So we don't know, obviously, but obviously he is abstaining. One thing to note, Geoff Keighley's show, I believe, takes place at 5 p.m. Eastern Time on Friday, June 6th. That would be 2 p.m. Pacific Time, sorry. And then the Xbox event takes place on Sunday, June 8th, I believe. that sound right? Yeah.
Is it 8th or 9th?
It's
Yeah?
the 8th, yes.
Okay.
June 8th, starting at 1 p.m. Eastern Time, 10 a.m. Pacific. I just want to say with these fucking showcases, it always seems to happen when I'm on vacation. Once again, I'm on vacation this year when this is happening. Oh,
Classic.
they announced the next Halo game and I'll be on vacation. Ew, that's how it happens sometimes. We'll have to chat off air. I forgot to ask you guys if you're wanting to stream. I guess either, but the Xbox event, because the one event I may be either on the road or in a hotel for Geoff Keighley's event, so I don't know if I'll be able to join for that one. But the Xbox event, I don't know. We can talk off air about that.
Cool.
We'll let the viewers know next week what our plans are. Okay. So that's our predictions. Stay tuned. A week and a half from now. See if they came true. All of our hopes and desires.
Fingers crossed. Fingers all the way crossed.
Yeah, but you don't want Half-Life 3 to come, so.
I do. I just didn't have the balls, like you said.
We'll see what happens. All right. I am pulling up this because I apparently forgot to link the story. I don't know how I missed linking it. Here we go. So that leads us into the news of the week. We have one news of the week item. Unless if you guys see something you want to elevate while I'm talking about this, feel free to do so from the quick bites. But the Tiny Build Connect 2025 stream has happened, and we got to look at some new games. A lot of these are indie games, smaller scoped games, so I just thought it would be cool to give a little highlight here on them. We got a trailer for Ferocious, which is a new upcoming survival FPS where you find yourself on a remote island full of dinosaurs and mercenaries, which, hell yeah, I'm down for some dinosaurs, so get me in this. I want to capture some dinosaurs. We got to look at Sand, which is an open world PvPvE extraction shooter where players operate giant walkers across the post-apocalyptic dunes of a fallen planet. Which this one actually looks kind of neat too, actually. I don't know if you saw the footage for this, Gage. I know you're big on extraction shooters, but it definitely looks interesting with them fighting these giant mechs. You know what I should have done? I should have linked this once I found this so you guys could click on
I'm
it.
trying to look for it right now.
Yeah, I apologize. I just linked it in the doc. I should have did that. But yeah, it looks kind of neat. These big ass vehicles that you're driving across the sandscape with I don't know. It's kind of a unique art style too. It kind of gives me a little bit of Team Fortress-y vibes from the character models. Kind of cool. I don't know. Coming to Xbox and PlayStation as well. Oops. Okay. Did you see it, Cage?
I did see it. It almost looks like I'm actually kind of getting Ark vibes from it. Ark Survival Evolved.
Okay. So,
but with mechs instead of dinosaurs.
Oh, okay. Interesting. Oh, and then we got to look at Train Fort, where you play as a dwarf nomad exploring a vast post-apocalyptic open world. You can gather resources and keep rolling. Your legs may be short, but the road is long. I don't know what the deal is with all these post-apocalyptic worlds. Everything's going to shit.
Did you listen to this trailer at all? I dare you to click any second, anywhere within the first 45 seconds to just listen for a couple seconds.
Yeah. That's interesting.
Is that not Steve Downs?
That is Steve Downs.
That is Steve Downs.
Yeah, that is interesting. That sounds like him, anyways.
I mean, nowadays, is it Steve Downs? Is it a prompt that somebody's typed in
That's
to
true.
sound like Steve Downs? Right. I'd have to imagine it is. That would be pretty ballsy to throw a trailer out like that.
Yeah.
So I mean, that's cool. Steve Downs doing some indie work. You love to see it.
Interesting.
He's just added it to his wish list
On Steam. And then we got a look at Hosey, which is a cozy renovation and cleaning game where you transform chaos into a perfect home at your own pace. This is the Gage. I'm seeing you shake your head. This is the type of game that you'd be into, and then I'd be like, "But Gage, what about your Twitter password that you can't fucking keep straight and keep organized? But you're gonna organize this house."
You know what? I'm feeling a bit attacked right now. But you're absolutely right. This has already been added to my wish list.
God. Insane. Gage loves these games that they make you work in it. Like, you want to do manual labor? That's a Gage game right there.
I love stepping over water bottles and wrappers to get to my computer to clean up a digital area.
Shit. I can imagine Lynn watching you play this game like, what the fuck?
She's like, oh, so you can do it on a keyboard and mouse, but you can't do it in real life.
Then we got
wish list.
Jesus. Then we got to look at a survival city builder with a unique physics-based construction mechanic where every structure you build can collapse. It is called All Will Fall, and it kicks off the Steam open beta on June 9th. Let's just call this fucking entire showcase the Gage Showcase.
There's something about this showcase that's really speaking to me. And All Will Fall is definitely. I did see this actually. I didn't watch the showcase, but I did. This made it onto my feeds, and this game looks. It looks like a Gage game. We'll just say that.
And if that's not enough for you, you go to the roguelite city builder called The King is Watching, where you rule by the power of your royal gaze. You can decide between producing resources, training armies, or balancing both while adapting to unique events every run.
Your royal what?
Game? The King is Watching. Your royal gaze.
Gotcha.
Heard you right.
Then we have a look at Of Ash and Steel, which is an immersive third-person open-world RPG that aims to blend the essence of classic old-school RPGs with modern designs. Definitely looks like a traditional fantasy RPG. Interesting. Get into those fantasy RPGs. Next, everything goes wrong in this hilarious new trailer for Streets of Rogue 2, which is a chaotic open world sandbox RPG from solo developer Matt Dabrowski, and it is launching in early access on Steam later this year. A lot of games end up being good from solo developers. It'd be cool.
Streets of Rogue 2. This looks like a game that I'm going to plead with you guys to buy, and I promise it'll be the best thing ever, and we'll play it for exactly 3 weekends. But you know what? I bet you will have fun.
This is the type of game that you and Christian play for 3 weekends and beg me to play it, and I say, nah, I ain't buying that. And then and then you guys end up stop playing it. No, it looks interesting. Voin, the high-octane first-person hack and slash from another solo developer, Nikita Sazeder, has just received a major content update titled Permafrost. Got a little bit of a developer diary in there as well from the solo developer. Very cool. This actually looks very cool. Solo developers out there cooking.
They are.
Speedrunners 2 is getting a playtest on Steam soon. You can watch the new trailer and get a look at the massive 64-player tournament mode coming to the sequel of the iconic competitive platformer. So this game's so much fun. I'm excited for the sequel and the 64-player fucking tournament. That sounds awesome.
64.
Yeah.
64. That does sound exciting. I'm just waiting for us to get to the next game.
God damn it. The next one, Duckside, is coming to consoles. Imagine Daisy or Rust, but you're a duck. We got to look at the survival game with PvP, PvE, crafting, base building, and hat wearing ducks wielding weapons. You can also build.
I think.
What? Yeah.
I think you mean to say PVD.
PvD.
Player
PV
versus
duck.
duck.
Oh my gosh.
Watching
be
Rose shake his head
DVD?
immediately is amazing.
Wouldn't it be DVD? DVD.
You're right. You're right. It's DVD gameplay.
DVD.
Oh my gosh.
So stupid. And then we got to look at corporate greed meeting strategic planet mining in the game called Drill Core. Drill to the heart of planets while managing workers, researching cutting-edge tech, and fortifying against alien attacks in this strategy game going 1.0 on July 17th. There you go. And then we got a taste of a familiar game series. Hello Neighbor 3 is a cozy yet eerie system-based adventure where every decision is the right one. We got a little bit of a look at gameplay as well from this one. If you've played the other Hello Neighbor games, I would imagine you could get an idea of where this one's going. And lastly, Kingmakers is the epic shooter RTS hybrid that went viral with its last reveal last year and is launching in Steam Early Access on October 8th. You can prepare to change medieval history with guns with up to 3 friends via online co-op. Seems very cool, actually. Kind of a novelty thing where you can switch between RTS and shooter. Pretty interesting.
Let's give it a try, Dan. Let's jump into that.
Let's give it a shot. Remember when we gave Age of Empires a shot one time and I was like, there's like 77 things on the screen? I can't do this.
I do remember that.
That honestly stressed me the fuck out. I saw all that shit on the screen and I'm like, I can't.
Yeah, I was like, this game is way more sim than I remember. I thought we were going to jump in, build a little base.
Yeah.
Same. Do some raiding. And it was like, actually, manage your socioeconomic policies. I was like, okay, well.
Yeah. A little too deep for me.
Yeah. I agree.
All right. Let us move into The Last of Us Episode 7. Our thoughts on HBO's final episode of Season 2. What was our thoughts? Non-spoilery thoughts.
Non-spoilers. I think I agree with Ro when we were talking off air that it is very much a mixed bag. And I think that applies to both the season finale and the whole series as a general. I can't say. I guess my biggest critique of this season, without getting into spoilers, and it really contrasts crazy with Andor that's come out, and that is, you know, a property, Star Wars, that I'm normally not super crazy about, but I watched Andor and I was like, holy fuck, this is one of the best shows I've ever seen in my life. The contrast is that 7 episodes was not, I don't think, enough to tell even this chunk of the story. I don't know what HBO is doing lately. They dropped the ball with like, in my opinion, they dropped the ball with the second season of House of the Dragon as well for the same reason. I don't know if this is just kind of like, you know, the age of streaming is starting to affect even the most prestige networks that they just can't help but cut corners. I don't know if that's what's happening. I hope that's not what's happening, but 7 episodes felt like we didn't get to spend anywhere near enough time with most of the characters to go on the journey that they needed to go on. A lot of the character changes and motivations that we're supposed to be feeling, in my opinion, just didn't really land, didn't sink. I don't know where characters stand. And in contrast to season 1, when I had a lot of my non-gamer family and friends saying like, wow, this is a really great story. I didn't know video games were like this. I've been getting a lot of texts, multiple weeks in a row going, wait, what's happening? What's going on?
Yeah.
Did I miss something? Lynn, this last episode, because again, episode 6 was entirely flashbacks. This episode started and she was like, did we miss an episode? Do we need it? I'm like, no, this is just how they're deciding to do things this go around. So mixed bag is, to cut it all short. Sorry for rambling. Mixed bag is kind of where I land on it.
Yeah, me also. Again, not trying not to go into spoilers either, but with the first season, there were some changes that were made, and most of the changes I liked. And
Yep.
this season, it's like completely the opposite. Where most of the changes are like, so why did they do that? And the earlier episodes that happened, I was like, okay, this could be interesting. I see what they're doing here. So if they switch that person, so maybe this will happen. Maybe it could be cool. And then it happened, and then the episodes progress, and it just made me scratch my head as to why they did that, because there's literally no point. And sometimes it made it worse. Like if you didn't do this, you could have had that moment to flesh this out a bit more. And it was, they just made some weird choices that didn't need to be made, especially when the story is there for them to adapt. They didn't need to change certain things that they did change. But there were some changes again that I did like this season as well, but majority of them I was just confused by. But this episode specifically, I thought was okay. But yeah, just like Gage said, there's just so many different things that I was confused by, and the lack of episodes as well. I think it's 3 less episodes than last season, or 2.
Yep.
Yeah, and my mom was asking the same question. Like she like Gage was saying, she's one of those people that doesn't play video games at all. I got her into the first season, and she's every Sunday she's like, let's watch the last one. She's like super excited. And I told her that this was the last episode, and she's like, no way, this is the last episode. It's like, yeah, this is the last episode of the season. It's like, how is this the last episode of the season? Like, I don't know. But yeah, she was also confused as to it having such an abrupt ending. She was expecting a little bit more of a satisfying conclusion. She did know that it would be continued, but she was still like, that's weird.
Right.
But yeah. So it is interesting that, for lack of a better term, the normies are like also scratching their heads at this. Like they wouldn't notice this changes that we notice, but just from like a baseline television thing, they're like a little bit confused as well. And I showed my mom like some of the cutscenes from the original game too, and I was like, this is why I like this more. And she's like, okay, I see why you like that more. Like she understood some of the acting and the differences as well. So just I don't know what they did there.
Yeah, and like in terms of this season, like the overall structure of the season, if they were going to mimic the game, they shouldn't have played around with the overall structure, because that makes the show worse objectively. Without going into specifics, which we'll probably talk more about this next week, because I think we're gonna have a spoiler cast next week. But while I don't agree with how the events happened in the game, that I won't spoil just in case somebody hasn't played the game at this point, but while I don't agree with what happened, I agree with the fact that the entire story revolves around this event happening and these things happening in a certain order. And for them to change that order up and show things that they didn't show in the game, like it doesn't make sense for the story that they're telling in The Last of Us Part 2. So they shouldn't have translated things in the wrong order because it just confuses things.
Right. It's the vibe I get is that they almost wanted to avoid the controversy that they got when they released the game, but the problem with kind of what you're saying, Dan, is like you kind of either have to commit to it or it ends up being uninteresting.
Yeah.
Right? So it's like even amongst this podcast, there's differing views and different reactions to The Last of Us Part 2 when it came out. But at the very least, it took a swing and it took a chance of like, we're going to do things without telling you why. We're going to withhold information with the expressed intent of having a payoff later. That's the idea behind the structure. And you're totally right. When they do a half measure with this adaptation of like, well, let's give them some, nuggets here at the beginning to try and smooth this whole thing over. By smoothing the whole thing over, you lose its edge. You lose the swinging for the fences that the second game did. Again, whether it worked for you or not is secondary to the point. I agree with you. I think that they were nervous and that they got in their own heads maybe, or something happened. And I can't wait to get into the spoiler cast about it because it's I think they definitely shot themselves in the foot. And it's very strange because not only, in my opinion, is Neil Druckmann a talented writer, because I've enjoyed most of his works, but Craig Mazin did the Chernobyl miniseries, which in my eyes is one of the best miniseries that I've ever seen. So very, very strange. I'm wondering if this was just a symptom of like, again, getting a little too nervous, getting too inside their own heads, and let's do this and let's do. It's like you should have just went with your gut and fired on all cylinders. But I agree with you, Dan. Yeah, it's by smoothing off all the edges, you've kind of left the show without any teeth.
Mm-hmm. Yep. My other big issue with this season, like you guys were saying, the episodes only being 7 episodes, it's not enough time for even the content that they covered. And like my biggest issue is like if this entire season felt like, each episode was like, oh, let's hurry up and get to this big event that happens in the game. All right, that's done. All right, let's go ahead and just hurry up and get to the next big event that happens in the next, like, instead of like taking our time with it and like, seeing the progression of the season unfold, like I feel like they were too quick to like jump from here to here to here to here. It's like there's no linearity. It doesn't feel like like it's one cohesive thing. It feels like they're just kind of jumping around and it doesn't feel great to watch.
Yeah. I think maybe they're almost too focused on hitting these visual set pieces as opposed to really kind of like, well, instead of make sure we do the subway scene, and then once we do the subway scene, we'll get to the dinosaur scene, and once we get it's like they were more focused on that as opposed to like, well, what is the game trying to say? Let's make sure we say what the game is trying to say. Let's say we have these moments with these characters where they're going through the same things that they go in the source material, because that's the whole point of the game is this emotional journey that these characters are on. And as opposed to that is very much like you said, Dan, like, oh, let's do the thing that they remember, and then let's do that thing, and then once we get there, we can do the next thing. And it all kind of falls a little flat, I think.
Absolutely.
Or at least some of it did. So there were some peaks in this season. There were some moments that worked really well, I think, but for the most part, it felt a little bit, I don't know, a little bit stale, a little bit hollow. And I think that's because we didn't get to spend as much time with these characters.
Fair enough. All right, that should have been a news of the week item, but we ball.
We ball.
All right, the next quick bite here. There is renewed interest in Star Wars Battlefront 2 after the huge success of Star Wars Andor, and that we've been raving about. Very good show. Go watch it. So the renewed interest comes from Muhammad Ben Amor, who plays the heroic woman Pak in Andor. And he's taken to social media to help campaign for a fully operational sequel. Star Wars gotta give us Battlefront 3 ASAP, Amor wrote on Instagram. So he's ready for more. He's He said, grew up with Battlefront 2, been a veteran since day one. Let's hope Battlefront 3 happens. Now, that's followed on the back of a former DICE developer that has been responding to player questions on Reddit in reference to Battlefront 2. And the game was originally released in 2017, and this person was the live operations developer of Battlefront 2. According to Holm, who is the person speaking on the Reddit here, I don't expect Battlefront 3 to be announced at the end of this rally. But overall, yeah, I think there are people who are talking about it. He said the biggest issue holding up a new game is that the majority of the Battlefront 2 team are no longer at DICE. We spread all over, Holm revealed. A few went to Ubisoft, some went independent, some went to King, Avalanche, Star Stables, Paradox, Starbreeze, Mohang, to name a few. Some left Stockholm to join game companies abroad as well. Embark has a lot of the people who made the base game, but the people who made the live game did not leave in a pack. We're all slowly drifted after being put on Battlefield. And obviously, Battlefront 2's success was put at the peak when it hit the all-time high concurrent player count on Steam of 18,600, which is insane. Huge success from Battlefront 2, and I agree with, and I understand what the developer's saying when he's saying, like, you know, the people that made Battlefront 2 aren't there anymore. Totally understand that, but I also think at the same time that doesn't mean that current DICE couldn't make a Battlefront 3 good. You know, like,
for sure,
just because they made it good, that was absolutely a really good game. But I'd also be interested to see if current DICE could make a Battlefront 3 after, you know, Battlefield 6 is done.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely would like to see that. I think, first of all, I gotta throw this detour in here. I think the actor that you're talking about on Andor, I saw a post. I don't know, it's the internet. I don't know how true it is, but somebody said that he was 19 when he started filming season 2. Which is crazy to me, because that means when he says he grew up playing Battlefront 2, he's probably meaning the DICE Battlefront 2.
Yes,
which to me is like,
yeah,
that's crazy, because it's like I grew up playing like the OG Battlefront 2. It's great, new generation of gamers. That's crazy that somebody grew up playing DICE's Battlefront 2. But I mean, it's cool. I mean, the game feels amazing. That's the one thing. That of all the criticisms of that game when it launched, which there are many valid criticisms, the game, the animators, the gameplay designers, the gunplay specifically, the game feels amazing in the hand. It feels so good to play, and I think that's part of the reason why it's getting such a resurgence, and why you're not seeing the OG Battlefronts have this huge tick up as well. Is that the DICE Battlefront 2 feels incredible. It's such a well-made game. It's so tight. It's so polished in terms of its core gameplay fundamentals, and I definitely would not say no to a new one coming out. I think he brings up an interesting point, like, so that the same people aren't there. But I agree with you. I don't think that would stop them. I hope that it would mean that the game. I guess I would be worried that, I don't know if it has that same third person charm if a lot of the people that worked on this game left, because, as I pointed out many times, and as you guys have experienced, like when you play Arc Raiders, you can feel that lineage of the third person. Not only the animations, but the gunplay and the controls. It all feels pretty like a spiritual successor almost. So I mean, I would totally be fine with DICE doing a Battlefront 3. I would love it. As always, I would want them to look to what Pandemic did as inspiration and lean more towards that. There's still some gaps I think you can close. Like with vehicles being, you know, around the map that you can get in and out of, and that you can transport people, because the way it works and how it works now is very different from how it used to work in the Pandemic games. But Battlefront 3 would be awesome, and I would even be happy with maybe just if it makes more sense for them just to do maybe like a big update for Battlefront 2. You know, maybe you add Cassian and you add Krennic, and you do cool. a couple of small things, maybe do some quality of life stuff, maybe add a new map from Andor, Gorman Plaza. stuff like that, right? That would be cool. That would be awesome. I'd love to see that.
And that game holds up incredibly well. So
not only gameplay wise, as I gushed about, but even visually, like you were saying. You throw it on a 4K OLED TV, and you're just like, wow, this is still almost like a sizzle reel worthy sort of engine showcase game.
Absolutely. We're gonna get Ro to play with us someday.
That'd be great. Let's get Ro to play anything with us.
Anything. I actually like Battlefront. The PlayStation one, PlayStation 4. Stupid. The PlayStation 4 ones, the remakes for the most recent ones.
Well, hell yeah.
I played the first one, a little bit of the second one, but I really enjoyed the first one on the PlayStation 4. It was fun.
God,
nice
multiplayer game. Yeah.
I just saw that notification pop
up.
What?
So did I.
What is
I didn't see what he was playing.
Yeah, started playing Battlefront 2. Oh my god.
I'm just looking.
Just checking it out.
He's just looking as his camera freezes. His PC just
got Battlefront open.
Yeah, exactly. PC's mad at him now. All right.
God.
I'm just making sure that what I said is true.
Oh my god.
Does this game actually look good? Let me boot it up and see.
This is an incredible freeze frame. It's all right.
Am I still frozen?
You're still frozen, yeah.
Yep.
The next quick bite is Elden Ring is going to be adapted to film by A24, written and directed by Alex Garland. If Christian was here, I don't know what he would say. Would he say? Would he be excited about this?
I have no idea.
I don't know.
I have no idea. It's a toss-up with him.
Yeah. I mean, Alex Garland, I feel like makes some good stuff though.
I consistently like all of Alex Garland's things. I think sometimes he falls into the trap of being somebody who like I think his work, there's a lot of subtext to read into it, but at the same time people will claim that it's just basic and he's not actually that talented. I don't know. The internet has a love-hate relationship with Alex Garland. I like his work a lot. I really like Civil War. I really liked Ex Machina. And I'm excited. This is interesting. I mean, to be fair, when it comes to Elden Ring, it's very much... I find it a bit obtuse, personally, the storyline. I'm definitely there for the gameplay, but it could be interesting. It's definitely got unique vibes that would be cool to see on screen. And if it's a faithful adaptation, I'm never going to be opposed to that. More video games getting good adaptations.
Absolutely.
I've only seen Annihilation, but that was good. I liked Annihilation.
Annihilation is very good. I forgot about that one.
All right. Our next quick bite. Mind's Eye has released a new gameplay trailer with a $60 price point announced with a future content plan as well. So at launch, there is, of course, the tightly crafted linear story campaign and what's called single-player free roam. But there are also a number of missions, a horde mode mission called Destruction Site Shootout, and 2 combat missions, Honor Amongst Thieves and Friendly Fire. Also at launch, there are 6 races, 6 checkpoint races, and 3 drone races. If you get the premium pass, you get an extra horde mission and an exotic cosmetics pack. So all that's coming. But after launch, they said they will deliver a constant stream of fresh premium content monthly, ensuring Mind's Eye is a living, ever-expanding player experience, including new missions, challenges, and game assets. So a little bit of a roadmap there. But then also we got one of the co-CEOs, Mark Gerhard, of Build a Rocket Boy, alongside Leslie Benzies, had made some comments during a Q&A session on Discord, which was reviewed by IGN, essentially saying, do you think that all the people who reacted negatively were financed by someone? And he said 100%, Gerhard responded, before adding, doesn't take too much to guess who. The accusation sparked a number of shocked responses, including one who said a co-CEO for a studio implying another studio is paying previewers to talk negatively about your game is an absolutely wild comment to make in a public environment in any situation. And Gerhard responded to that comment saying, "Not wild when it's true." So, are people being paid to negatively talk about Mind's Eye? Question mark.
Here's the thing. Can I say something from a PR standpoint? It's
Yeah.
never a good idea to suggest this.
Right.
It doesn't matter if it's true or not. It's never a good idea
Right.
to you either have to show confidence in your project and say like, yeah, we see the rumblings online, but we're here and we're ready to show those people wrong.
Right.
Like no matter which way you spin it, there is infinitely better choices than to say no, actually the cabal's after us and it's a conspiracy. It's just I don't know what they're doing.
And I've been a little bit concerned about this game anyways, like performance-wise it hasn't performed well in like stuff they've shown off. So
yeah. It's not looking good for Leslie, let's just say that.
Yeah. All right. All these tariffs, all this shit happening. Not a good time to buy hardware unless you're buying a PlayStation. PlayStation 5 and PlayStation 5 Pro are getting price cuts for days of play. So you are getting $50 off PlayStation Digital Edition and PlayStation 5 Pro console as well. Digital and standard, I apologize. Digital and standard will be available starting at $399.99 US, and that's including the Black Ops 6 bundle, as well as the PS5 Pro getting $50 off, which I believe makes it $649.99. So now's the time to get a PS5 Pro, because if those tariffs come back into play, because they're temporarily paused right now, prices could go back up.
Yes.
So speaking of Last of Us, I should have thrown this in before, but I forgot. Craig Mazin, the showrunner for The Last of Us, has said that season 4 is pretty much essential for The Last of Us HBO series. Which is interesting. There's no way to complete this narrative in season 3, he says, which obviously with how they left off season 2, like we're surmising that they're going to end season 3. Well, I guess we don't want to spoil anything, but like where they left season 2, I feel like that makes sense because there's still a lot of stuff left, but it's like, I don't know. I feel like they could have had more episodes and a couple of seasons. I don't know.
You know what be it was oh sorry, Gage?
We might be able to say the same thing. I love when these people say it's just not possible. It's like, well, it's not possible if you keep doing 7 episodes a season. It's definitely not possible. If you guys like maybe put your foot down and said, "Hey HBO, you know how you guys used to do 10 episode seasons for every show that you've ever had in your entire thing? Maybe we can also have that because we're a show in your catalog."
Well, or even like Andor, specifically, like Andor just had 12 episode seasons and they split this season up into like 3 episode chunks. They could have done that for season 2 and it would have worked beautifully. Have 3 episodes here, 3 episodes there, etc. Yeah.
I was gonna say if we're getting Abby's side, the season might end at the exact same place, and then
exactly, yeah,
that would be so stupid.
Yeah.
Anyway.
If I had to guess,
that's what's gonna happen.
Kind of. I think it's going to happen. I think it's going to end around like trying to say this without spoilers.
Right.
The culmination of the set piece that this season just ended on. When you play the game, what happens after that confrontation, I think is where they're going to end. And then, and then the last controversial part of the game that people think went on too long, I think is going to be their season 4. Which will be funny to see how that translates as well, right? If they're going to
Yeah.
double
they
down on
change
that
anything.
because they've already changed some things, so it'd be interesting to see if that's the one thing that they keep, or I don't know. They've changed. Yeah, it's so interesting. It's I don't know what the fuck they're planning.
Yeah. I hope they at least go a little bit further than how it ended. The season ended. Yeah, that would make sense that they conclude that way. Oh man,
Very interesting.
Crazy.
All right. You know what I just thought of too, and this kind of makes me mad because you guys may not agree with this take, but I'll throw it out there anyways. I think it would have been super fascinating if the entire season 2 revolved around Abby and you follow her the entire time and you get a bunch of backstory about her and her people and you learn about her and they completely do something different than the game. Obviously the rest of the story has to change if you're doing this route, but like give a whole season dedicated to Abby, and then you come back with a season 3 where Bella Ramsey is a couple years older because, time in real life, it's a couple years older. And maybe she like molds a little bit more into that older Ellie role, because that is still one of my problems with this season is that Bella Ramsey doesn't look like the proper age that Ellie should be for season 2.
And I will. Yeah, I will. I guess I'll save this mostly for next week if we're gonna do it as topic of the show. But I did jump back into The Last of Us Part 2. I played like maybe about an hour and a half of it just to kind of. Am I misremembering? Is it rose tinted glasses? And I think the writing of the show does not help Bella Ramsey in that aspect as well. Ellie is definitely written very differently from how she is in the game, and that combined, I think, with her stature, definitely exacerbates the issue, I think.
For sure. All right. Enough The Last of Us.
That's the last of The Last of Us.
That's the last of The Last of Us. Until next week. Our next quick bite, TMNT Empire City has been announced, coming to MetaQuest and Steam VR. Our first Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles game in VR. Let's do this. Let's turtle.
It's turtle. Turtle's counting down.
So you get each turtle's signature weapon. You'll also have quick slot items like shurikens and smoke bombs and one-shot stealth takedowns, midair attacks and dashes, and blocking mechanics. Awesomely, each turtle is different beyond just wielding a different weapon. For instance, Donatello has less health than Raphael, but presumably has more attack range. Interesting. We'll see how they are able to put that one together.
We all know who Leonardo is. That's the real thing.
Yeah, it's me. We may not be talking about The Last of Us anymore, but back on Naughty Dog, Naughty Dog has a secret unannounced game alongside Intergalactic the Heretic Prophet. Neil Druckmann has revealed this very recently, and he has said, there's another game that's been worked on at Naughty Dog where I am more of a producer role and got to mentor and watch this other team and give feedback and be the executive in the room, he said. I enjoy all those roles, and the fact that I jump between one to the next, it makes my job very exciting and always feeling fresh. I'm never bored. So what do we think this other project is? Is it The Last of Us Part 3, or is it... I'm thinking this is like a smaller project, like that they're kind of doing like with a small team or something like that. Am I crazy in thinking that?
Yeah, I mean, him saying that he's doing more of a producer role makes me think it's not The Last of Us, right? Because that seems like that's kind of his baby.
Yeah.
I would love for this to be The Last of Us Online or something, but it's not. That's the only Last of Us part that I could see him taking a backseat in, right? Of him just giving some notes and being like, okay, well, this is the lore, and aside from that, do whatever you're gonna do. I don't know. It's strange. Do we think it's two new IPs is crazy though, right? But also, like, is it if it's a smaller project, it's not going to be Uncharted, and it's probably not
That's
The Last
true.
of Us, like we just said. So, like, what is it? I don't know.
Maybe something new.
Maybe something new. Two new things.
Yeah, might be something new. I hope it's. I know we just said that it might not be an Uncharted, but I would love them to go back to Uncharted. I miss it.
Me too.
I miss it.
I'm with you, Ro.
Yeah. Now that we've gotten a lot of The Last of Us, if we hadn't got so much of The Last of Us, it wouldn't be. But yeah, I'm ready for some more Uncharted or something new. But I know how the fourth one ended. Yeah, I would love a follow up, but it seemed like it was like a happy ending conclusion sort of thing. But I would love them to continue that story, and they could do a smaller thing with that character. True. Like it doesn't have to be a big game; it could be like a little. What was the Chloe and Nadine one called?
Yes,
it could be,
Lost Legacy.
Lost Legacy. Yeah, it could be like that. No, that would be great. Just a little side story.
I agree. Yeah, take her out, for a training session. I don't know. Something like, and have something crazy happen. I don't know. Yeah, Nathan Drake in the Sully role.
Exactly.
Could work.
That'd be fun.
Friend of the show, Guillermo, is in the chat. Guillermo, when are you gonna rejoin us for some games? I'm not reading that comment, Guillermo. That's a spoiler. So
he loves coming in here and acting out of sorts. What did he say? I guess he can't say it.
It's the major spoiler from season 2. So you know what it is.
Oh, for The Last of Us?
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. The next quick bite. Nintendo has released a new Animal Crossing New Horizons update for the first time in almost 3 years. The update brings improved compatibility for multiplayer sessions between the Nintendo Switch 2 and Nintendo Switch. Getting some compatibility in there.
Hell yeah. Switch is so close. Switch 2.
We'll see. Did anybody here have pre-orders?
Oh my gosh, Guillermo. I'm definitely not saying that. God.
Is he in the YouTube chat?
Yeah, don't even look at that.
I'm terrible. Looking at it. I have to.
Jesus.
I promise you it's not worse than what he says.
It might be worse. I don't know. Fucking A. EA has canceled their Black Panther game and closed the developer Cliffhanger Studios. Not good. More people being laid off from EA. So our thoughts for those people that are affected. Hopefully they can get a new position somewhere else. But yes, this is not good for another canceled EA game and closing yet another game studio. And I was kind of interested to see what this Black Panther game was going to be, but now it's gone.
Now it's gone. And the Black Panther and Captain America one got delayed.
Correct, yeah. Right? What is it, 1943 or whatever it is?
Yeah. Shame.
Yeah.
Shame.
I'm hoping for that one to be good, at least, with Amy Hennig, hopefully. We'll see.
We shall see.
Pokemon Legends Z to A is releasing October 16th, 2025. We got announced for both Nintendo Switch and Switch 2 Edition. Pre-orders begin on June 5th.
Nice. I'm excited.
Hell yeah. If they make a Pokemon game that's just the original 151, I'm in.
They didn't they do that?
Did they?
Pokemon Let's Go? They did a Kanto remake, but it wasn't really like a Kanto remake.
Okay.
People didn't love it. Okay. I think they did that, unfortunately. I have to double check that.
See, that's what pulls me back into Pokemon like card and the real life stuff every time is the 151 stuff. Whenever they go back to the original stuff, that's when I'm like, fuck yeah, I need this. Like, I love the special art rare of Charizard in 151. That art is so cool on that. Oh my gosh. Fucking $700 card though. I'm like, fuck that.
Yeah, that's a little crazy.
Yeah. Unless some of my cards come back, and
then
maybe I'll swap some out there. You know? We'll see. That Pikachu,
Yep.
although I love that Pikachu art that I have, the one that I have.
Yeah, I've never seen that card, the one that you showed us.
Because it's got Jolt. I think it has Jolteon and is it Electabuzz also on there? I don't know. It's sick though.
Was on here. Yeah, Jolteon. Yeah, Electabuzz.
Yeah.
And Pikachu.
I love that art. That's so good. I'm going to be sad if that comes back as a 10 because I'll be like...
You have to sell it.
I feel like I have to sell it, but then I'm like, I don't want to sell it. It's like, I don't know.
Maybe the longer you hold on to it, the higher...
That's true. Could keep going up in value. Although sometimes it's volatile and sometimes it goes like way down. So... I don't know. I guess, but it's pretty established now because that was the 2016 run. If it was a newer run, I would say it's more volatile, but you might be onto something. Hang on to it. Guillermo says, is this the downfall of EA? I don't think that this is the downfall of EA yet, but still not good. Not good at all for them to close another studio, cancel another game. Not good.
Not good. No bueno.
No bueno. All right, the last quick bite here. The Order 1886 had 2 sequels planned before they were canceled after the reception to 1886. The games were supposed to be The Order 1891 and The Order 1899. They were both planned. Well, we could have gotten all these The Order games. The Order was about to turn into Assassin's Creed, where they just went into every single generation.
God.
Rats, we could have had more of The Order.
Oh man, I liked it.
That's fair.
I hate the ending sucked, but I liked playing that game. Like I liked the experience of it, and the story wasn't horrible. The ending was just kind of rushed. I found. But it was like super early PS4 days, I believe. I don't remember when it released, but I remember it like being one of the first games that I played on PlayStation 4, and just be like, "Damn, this looks really, really good." And then, as we all know, the story wasn't fantastic, but I enjoyed it. I thought it was fun, and I would have liked more of it. I was hoping that they're going to, because the way that the first one ends like on a cliffhanger.
Yeah.
So, which is why people didn't like how the story went. But yeah, I liked it.
I feel like you're on the same wavelength with this game as I was with Rise, Son of Rome on Xbox. Like it's so funny how similar those two games are. Like they're beautiful cinematic games, and yet like the criticism was like the gameplay wasn't as deep as it could have been. But like I'm the same as you. I fucking loved Rise, Son of Rome, and it was such a beautiful like cinematic masterpiece. I loved watching that game. Like, yeah.
Damn. And the technology in 1886 was cool. Like, and the characters, like,
yeah,
the world itself was dope. But we'll never get it. We'll never get the Order 1889.
Yeah. Revive it, Sony.
Please.
All right, let's jump into our fantasy draft check-in. Do we have any new pickups? We do not. We have no new pickups, but we do have one new game that has released for Rose Devil Games, and that is Elden Ring Night Rain, which I think we are all a little concerned about. However, it's not the one amazing. Like, it's not the traditional, like, traditional level that their games come out at. It is at an 80 on OpenCritic, giving Christian 10 points right now for the latest From Software game. Which I think I've seen the criticism for that has been that if you don't have a trio, the game's really just not built for not having trios, and it's not as fun.
Right.
Is from what I've seen, which is the same concern we have about marathons. So that's a little concerning. So with that being added, our scores now stand Dan in first with 99 points and 7 games that have released. That's crazy. I've already had 7 games. Gage is still in second with 59 points and 4 games released. Oh no, Ro. You've been passed now by Christian Macias at 45 points and 3 games released. And Roshan Warner is in last place right now with 39 points. And he still has Grand Theft Auto 6 on his lineup here. You better release that.
Yeah. Oh god.
Oh well.
Gotta get rid of that.
You were banking on that heavy.
Yeah.
What do you mean?
I wasn't like.
What do you mean he was banking on that heavy? Bitch, you were fucking saying it was.
It's not on my fantasy league. I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
It's on my fantasy league.
Uh-huh. All I can say is, game developers, don't let Gage Dempster get excited about your game, because it's probably going to get delayed.
Something will go wrong.
Football Manager 2024 that has never gotten delayed in the history of this franchise, and then it gets canceled. Incredible. All right. Moving into what you got for me. Dan, what you got for me? I don't really have anything. I was planning to play more Doom, The Dark Ages, but instead I spent literally 13 or 14 hours this weekend helping my brother build a retaining wall at his house, and I was dead after that. So yeah, I pretty much died at my house. So I didn't really play anything new. I've played a bit more Halo Infinite, of course, but that's it. Ro, what you got?
Yes, I got a game called Fantasy Life I, The Girl Who Steals Time on Switch. It recently came out, I think, last week. But it's like a action RPG mixed with Animal Crossing, mixed with like dungeon crawling stuff. And I'm having a good time with it so far. I'm still like, I think 3 hours in, so not that deep. But yeah, you're just like exploring the world, crafting or customizing your island, doing like these odd jobs as like your character can take on these lives, which are just jobs basically, or classes. So you can be like a paladin, what are there, like a mercenary. So those are like combat lives, but there's also like crafting lives where you could be a carpenter, a fisher, and all that kind of stuff. So you're basically just doing these quests, trying to rank up these different aspects of your life. And yeah, just hunting for treasure, good old JRPG shit. But yeah, it's a good time. It's a good time. Looking for secrets and fighting demons and all that kind of stuff. The story is meh, but that's not really what I'm there for. Yeah.
Hell yeah. It's good to have you report in.
Playing a game, yeah.
Hell yeah. Gage, what you got for me besides playing Star Wars Battlefront 2, since your camera's still frozen?
I'm not playing Battlefront 2 anymore. I was hoping my camera would unfreeze, but it didn't. What have I been playing? Well, like I said, I jumped into The Last of Us Part 2. Played that for about an hour and a half, and that game immediately grabs me in terms of like the immersion and the animation. I think that Naughty Dog is so incredibly talented. That game's awesome. And then I don't know if I was just thinking about GTA 6 or something, but I was like, I need more Rockstar in my life. So I also jumped back into Red Dead Redemption 2.
Oh, wow.
And very, very similarly to how I feel about Naughty Dog, this is why I always say, like, in my mind, they're both in a league. They're both, like, they are their only competitors, really, those two studios. They're both the best of the best. Because, man, I'm playing Red Dead Redemption 2, and I'm like, yeah, let's replay the story. I signed in. I'm really early in the story. I'm like, yeah, we'll play a few missions. And if I don't immediately start trotting around on horseback at the slowest possible speed, just walking through the wilderness and looking at everything and just realizing, oh, an hour and a half has went by and I haven't really done anything. Except I have done something. I've been immersed in this beautiful world. Man, Red Dead Redemption 2. What a game.
There's been
What a
rumors
game.
about that game getting an upgrade too.
I would love for that to be true if there's actual things with that, right? I would hate for that to just be a graphical update because I'm playing the PS4 version right now. I'm like, man, this is one of the best looking games still ever made, and we're like 6-7 years out from when it came out.
Crazy. They are masters.
They are masters in their own home.
All right. I think that is the end of our show this week. However, a little housekeeping because I just thought of this. The Switch 2 is out next Friday. Like, that's crazy.
It is crazy.
Come quick. It's come very quick.
Do you have Gabe was asking if we have pre-orders. Do you have one? Dan?
I have a pre-order with Walmart, and I'm
Walmart.
still debating if I want to keep it or not. I still have
Well,
not.
they might decide for you.
You what?
I said they might decide for you. They
You
might
might-
just cancel it.
You
I
might.
said they might decide for you.
Oh,
If you want to keep it or not, they'll probably
Oh,
just.
yeah, Walmart. Yeah.
Hopefully not.
Yeah. Honestly, because like the only reason if I keep it, the only reason I'll keep it is because I want to go back and finish Tears of the Kingdom, which I still haven't finished, and do the graphical update or whatever for $10, which is fucking stupid. Why I got to do that? But anyways, yeah, that would be the main draw for me because Mario Kart World hasn't really excited me too much. Like, I understand why people are excited for it, but it hasn't drawn me in that much. I've been more keen on Donkey Kong. So when that comes out, I will probably play that. Of course, I say that, and I still haven't fucking played Mario Wonder, which I haven't even started that. Fuck me. I'm terrible.
Okay.
Anyways, but yes, stay tuned next week for The Last of Us spoiler cast on the HBO series, and we will talk about what we are doing if we're live streaming any of the Summer Game Fest stuff. And then, yes, I will be here next week, but the week after that, I will be on vacation, so I may have to talk to you guys about that as well, but we'll figure it out. So, with that being said, thank you again to everyone joining us live on YouTube and Twitch, as well as podcast services everywhere, including Apple Podcasts, YouTube Music, Spotify, and everywhere else you get your podcasts. Thank you, Ro. Thank you, Gage. Thank you, Christian, who will return. I am Daniel, and this has been Podcast PXN, and we are out. Much love, and keep on gaming.
See ya.